And welcome back, everyone, from Grand Admiral Squid. What is the Zanpakuto of Ciri from The Witcher? Now, I believe I've done Geralt. I believe I also did Yennefer. So we're on to Ciri. Now, I didn't play the games. I'm only familiar with the first season and like the first episode of the second season. I fell behind on The Witcher, sadly. I know people didn't love it because there was a big deviation from the games. But I mean, I at least liked the first season well enough. Henry Cavill was great casting as Geralt. But yeah, so keep in mind, my knowledge of Siri comes mostly from the series, and I know a little bit more about what happens in the series as well. But so keep that in mind, though I will. I'm still pulling a little bit from the games. For example, when I say the games, first off, her Zanpakuto is definitely a keto type. She strikes me as a keto type esque individual. Um, its standard form is that of a katana. It's because the majority of them are. Now its release is Cradle My Children, and its name is Mazazu Rabu, or Mother's Love. Its Bankai is Mother of Monsters, or Monstua no Hana. The spirit of the Zanpakuto, I think, stands or looks like a maternal figure, similar to what her mother probably looked like, but in Bankai takes the form of a more monstrous individual. Now, at Shikai, I think we can say that it looks similar to the blade she has in her hand right there, if you see that. Now, how long that blade is, it's a bit cut off in this image, but still, I think it can look slightly different just as a design thing. But what I like is in the series, Siri, I can't remember everything about Siri in the series, like the TV series, but I do know she has an actual connection with monsters. She can actually sympathize with them, understand them, even summon them. So if we take that and convert that into a bleach type Zanpakuto, I think what you have here is something that's got an affinity for hollows. Specifically, what I think the Shikai can do is mirror, not copy or it's exactly using, but mirror the ability of hollows. For example, it can fire a keto energy blast that's similar to a Sero. It can allow the user to toughen their skin with Ryatsu to mirror a Hyaru, or use a Bala, or use not Descaron. Oh God, what's the name of the hollow transportation technique? Why am I blanking? Garganta. Use a Garganta. Now, it's not actually using these specific moves, but it's mirroring these moves. They're Shinigami interpretations of these moves. But that's where the Bankai comes in. So the Bankai, the sword disappears and crawls up the user's arms into these basically white-ish, not pure white, but white-ish looking gauntlets. And ultimately, what this Zanpakuto's full of power is it allows the user to actually command hollows in their vicinity. As long as they're exposed to her Ryatsu, she can command hollows. The hollows will obey her. Now, the weakness of the Zanpakuto would be against, say, something like a Vasto Lordis, a very powerful one like Stark or Bodegon. You would need to have greater Ryatsu than them. You basically need to be a scenario like Aizen, where, yeah, my Ryatsu is strong enough to contend with these individuals or surpass them. I can basically dictate what I want them to do. They will bow to me. But if you're someone more like a Soifone, who basically would not have beaten Baragon if she didn't have help, no, you do not. This won't have an effect on him. But as the longer the Zanpakuto stays activated, the more hollow-esque the user becomes, until essentially their whole body gets wrapped up in a hollow-like armor, and they essentially could turn into a hollow. This, I think, would be a very unique type of Zanpakuto. And in fact, it actually mirrors, on some level, what I did for Sam Winchester when I did his Zanpakuto. Because I did have the idea that because demons don't straight out exist in Bleach quite yet, I'm sure that Hell Arc will give us something similar to an actual demon. But because of the way Sam's abilities worked in supernatural, I did translate that also into a hollow-based Zanpakuto. I think this would be another version of that where, because of the nature of her and because of the nature of the Zanpakuto, she does in fact start to creep into the domain of a hollow if she's got the Bankai activated for too long. Now, luckily, being knocked out can disable the Bankai, I feel. Having her Ryatsu sucked away can also do that. I think while she's got hollows under her command, she is slowly like absorbing their Ryatsu into her as well to maintain that control. And it's not like she's absorbing it all and killing them. She's just taking ambient energy from the atmosphere around her. And that's where the growth comes in. She gains more hollow-like abilities, and to the point where they become hollow abilities. I think it'd be an interesting Zanpakuto for someone like this, who, at least in the series, is not entirely like an innocent soul. I mean, she is innocent, but she's definitely got some darkness in her. She can bond with the monsters more than other people can. She can control them and dictate them. So I definitely can see that working for her. But this is just my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.